Okay, the United Fighting Arts Federation is the brainchild of Mr. Chuck Norris, who is my instructor. He came up with the idea back in the early 70s to put together an organization that can unite all martial arts together. And that's the result of the United Fighting Arts Federation. What we do basically is we structure our program around our own basic forms that we have. We do the Korean-styled kicking, as well as the traditional hand karate techniques. We also incorporate boxing and some kickboxing. And we've also been incorporating the Machado Jiu-Jitsu system into our programs. So it's kind of a well-rounded organization. We try to cover all the bases, from standing to rolling on the floor fighting. My students range in all ages, of course, as most karate studios do. Our children's program is specifically designed for the kids. We've kind of modified the techniques to fit them a little bit better than with the adults. The adult techniques are basically I gear my program towards self-defense, which is what Mr. Norris really lets us be free in doing. We design our own programs as long as we're maintaining a minimum standard, which is a beautiful part of our organization. So I try to get into a lot of self-defense things, and I'm a state trooper by profession, so I've seen some of the things that work and some of the things that don't work, and I try to make my program beneficial in that area. Our belt system, again, is dependent upon the individual school. Mr. Norris is very free in that, and he allows us to use the GUP or grade whatever way we feel, as long as there's a red belt prior to the black belt testing, so that it's uniform. When people come up for black belt, they have to be red belts to test for black. So there's some schools that keep a traditional program of white, orange, green, red, and black. My school, I try to give a little more goal incentive, so I added different colors in. I go white, yellow, orange, blue, green, 2 levels of green, 2 levels of brown, 2 levels of red, a black belt candidate, and then black. So it gives them a little bit more of a goal to achieve rather than just wearing the same color throughout the course of their training. The black belt average is about 3 years to maintain your first black belt, your first level black, and that's working out 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, we are very strict on our black belt testings, which was one of the reasons Mr. Norris left the Korean organization. He felt that their standards were slipping a little bit. He wanted to maintain a higher standard of martial artists. So he went on to make the black belt testing very stringent. I've seen him fail a student for making a fist with the thumb on the outside rather than folding the thumb in, figuring that if he's going to be a black belt, he should be at least know how to make a fist in that situation. I have a 5th degree black belt in Tang Sudo and a 2nd degree black belt in Kun Tao, as well as I've trained seminars with Jeff Speakman and several other Kempo people. So I try to incorporate each of that into my program, as well as having a background. My first martial art was Jiu-Jitsu martial arts, so I incorporate that in also into the program. So we have a structure of being able to use something that's very devastating and destructive, as in the Kempo or Kun Tao techniques, to going into something that's very gentle, like an Aikido type of a movement. Not every situation calls for you to bust somebody's teeth down their throat. Situation may call for you just to do a simple wrist lock or pressure point and affect the movement out of the situation from there. I'm a Connecticut State Trooper. I have been for the last 12 years. I'm starting my 13th year on the job. As a result of that, I've worked field operations. I've worked as defensive tactics instructor for the state police. The way that the martial arts fits into the everyday aspect of my job is the confidence level, first and foremost, to be able to go into a situation. My nearest backup sometimes at the most is 40 minutes away. We cover a 525 square mile area, usually with about 3 people working the road. So when I need help, but it's far away. So it gives me that confidence to be able to go into a bar fighting situation by myself and have to deal with that type of a situation. Recently, I was involved in a shooting incident where a gentleman tried to run me over with his car, and I attribute the martial arts to being able to save my life, because I was able to sidestep like we do in some of our movements to get out of the way of the car coming at me. And as a result of that, I returned fire on the gentleman and was able to effect the arrest. Martial arts is definitely good for everyone. It gives you coordination and balance. And I started training because I was the fat kid on the block. I was also perception problems, dyslexic, coordination problems, things like that. So as a result, I was not into team sports. I'd see the baseball here, I'd swing at it, but it'd actually be 4 feet away because my depth perception was off. So as a result of that, I needed an individual sport to maintain my, my physical abilities. So I got involved with the karate, and through the training of that, it's helped me overcome the dyslexic problem that I have, as well as the perception coordination difficulties that I had when I was younger. So I recommend it for everyone. I've got students that are deaf, I have students that are partially retarded, and they've got outstanding gains through the martial arts training. Martial arts is great whether you're a 4-year-old kid or whether you're an 80-year-old adult. It gives you not only the physical technique and the confidence and the self-defense abilities, but it also gives you great camaraderie between friends. You make friends like you've never had before when you're involved in martial arts. There's something about being able to work hard together and then go ahead and play hard together that makes a great bond. And if for nothing else, for just that socialization, to be with these people that I look at as my family, that's what I'm into martial arts for.